Hello everyone and welcome to the tutorial on getting started with Android Studios. My name is Wisdom Walker and I will be showing you guys how to use Android Studios as well as how to download it. So first, what you guys want to do is go to Android Studios in your browser. Once you get on this page, you want to scroll down until you see this. Now you want to click on the option that pertains to your device. So since I'm a Windows user, I would click on this. But if you are a Mac user, you would click on this. Once installed, open Android Studios. You will be greeted by the welcome screen. From here, you can open existing projects or create a new project. Clicking new projects will take you to this page, the template page, where you can choose the template of your app. For this tutorial, we will be choosing Empty View Activity, as this gives you a blank canvas for your app. Clicking next brings us to this page where we can choose the name of our app. Your package name and save location should be the same name as the name you called your app, as this will allow you to just type this name in your files and you can easily find your app located here. For the language, we'll be using Java, however, you can use whatever language you like. Minimum SDK refers to the version of the Android app that you want your app to run. So if your version is higher than this, that means your app can support newer versions of Android. However, if it's lower than this, then your app supports older versions of Android. Here, it tells you that approximately 96.3% of devices can use your app. This I recommend not to change, and we'll click finish. After clicking finish, you might have to wait a while for your application to load. But once it loads, you should be able to see the folders screen on the left, this blank screen, or what's new page on the right. If you haven't downloaded this before, you can just delete the what's new page, and your code in the middle. Main activity.java is where you'll be writing most of your code, as well as active underscore main XML file, which is again where you'll be writing your UI, your X part of your code. If you go to this right corner, you'll be able to see code, split, and design. If you go to code, you can actually see the code of this file. Split will show you the code and the design, and design will just show you the design. Now, if you want to see your changes as you code your app, you can either connect your Android to Android Studios using a USB cord or Wi-Fi. Make sure you turn your Android tablet or phone to developer mode in settings before you do this. Or if you don't have an Android, you can use a virtual device by either having a pre-existing one or creating a new one by tapping this phone icon in this plus button. Once you click this plus button, you can choose what device you want your application to run on, the version. Once you click next, you'll be able to see what level you want your device to be on. The lower it is, the less new it is. So this is the newest level. When you click next, you'll be able to name it. You can figure out if you want it in landscape mode or portrait mode, then click finish. I already have a device, so I'll just click on the device. Once the app loads, you want to click the run button over here so that it can actually run your app in. So I already did that and I'm just waiting for it to load. Oh, yeah, and this might happen. If this happens, just click either wait or close application and you might just have to wait on it. You can also see the loading screen down here and it will tell you how far it is to actually play in your application. As you can see, your virtual device should appear here. You can make it bigger by clicking this. And this is what it should look like. It should look blank with just hello world on it. So let's actually change this up. Let's change the layout and the text and even the background. So to do that, you want to go to res over here. You want to go to layout, and this is where you can actually change, the layout of your app. You want to go to activity underscore main dot xml. So this is the file. This is where all the code would go into, and we can actually make some changes. So some small changes we can make is changing the name of this. You can also go into attributes and actually just change it directly in here. So let's just say we're gonna say the best app, right? There you go. And you actually made the change in the code even though you made it here. So you can actually you can even drag this around a bit if you wanted to. And it will actually make changes in here. So you can change the layout manually, or you can actually code the layout. For example, if I want to change the text size, I'll just type text, see where it says size, double click on size, and let's say 40 SP. And there we go, we changed the size. So again, you can even change the size right here. So you can change it manually or you can change it using code. You can also mess around with the positioning on stuff. Like that will move it a bit over. You can have a custom number, 50. Maybe you want to change this, make it go a bit lower. It's just up to you. You can do a bunch of stuff with this, but I do encourage you to mess around with these attributes over here, and you can even change the color of the text. Again, just type in text color. Let's change it to white, and see, now we can't see anymore because it's white. Control Z to go back. You can do honestly a bunch of stuff. If you want to see what else you can do with the text, just type in text. You can do all these stuff with the text and probably even more than what's on here. And that just goes to show you how great of a customization tool Android Studios has. Let's move on to the background part of the tutorial. So to add a background, you just want to go to your files, copy the image you want to use, make sure it's a PNG or a JPG because I believe those are the most compatible with Android Studios. You want to go to Drawable, right click on it and paste that file. My file is named phone background, but you can name it whatever you like. So once it's in here, you want to go up here, type in background, and then type in since it's located in the drawable folder, you want to type in drawable, and it should show up right here. If it doesn't, that means the image is broken or something. Voila, it should look something like this. The reason you don't want to put in here is because this is like where the text goes, and let me just show you what happens if you put the background in here. See, it doesn't fit as perfectly as it once did, so that's why the background should be here. Now, this background's not the best, but you know, this is just an example that you can use. If we go back to code, or you could go to design to see how it looks, but if we go to code, click your virtual device and click run. Yeah, it might take a minute for this to load. So my app is taking a bit long to load, but if yours load faster than mine, you should see the phone again and your app here, or you can just simply go to design and you can see how it would look like in the app. But congratulations, you have successfully set up Android Studios and you now kind of know how it basically works. There's a lot more that goes into it. Like, I recommend watching YouTube videos on how to make a login page and other pages. It's not too difficult, but I also recommend messing around with it. There's a lot of customization you can do with this program. For a small recap, the main activity.java file is where the bulk of your code is going to go. You can code like what your first page is going to look like the login screen, while activity underscore main.xml is where, like, you know, the design portion of your app is going to go. You can also add buttons here and design them too. I hope you explore more of these features, as I only explained the gist of how this platform worked. I hope that you guys have a lot of fun building your Android apps.